Breaking, what the USS Truman was just caught doing has sent little Kim Jong-un into hiding. Since the moment President Donald Trump parked warships outside North Korea last month in a show of force, he's been playing little Kim Jong-un like the puppet he is. The North Korean leader acts tough with his marching army theatrics and taunting announcements of more weapons testing. However, now he's seemingly run scared into hiding after what the USS Truman was just caught doing after his threatened to sink one of our other aircraft carriers, the USS Carl Vinson, with a single strike. Kim has been all talk and only a humiliating show of force with his floppy weapons and failed launches. In the tug-of-war of power between him and Trump, he's getting pulled down fast as his game of looking big is proving just how small and incompetent he really is. However, he's recently gone strangely silent in the past couple of days and likely hiding in fear for his life, after panicking about what the USS Truman just did that sent one of the biggest messages to this little dictator, yet. The USS Harry S. Truman, that is part of the same class of aircraft carriers, the Nimitz class, as the Vinson, which is important based on what is seen in footage that was just obtained from the Ultimate Military Channel. The Truman, which is the same size and has the same capabilities as the Vinson parked outside North Korea, pulls a quick, yet impressive stunt, in this footage, which could be devastating for the country if and when the Vinson decides to do it too and shut Kim Jong-un up for good, and our military is more than ready and willing to do it when the dictator least expects it while thinking he's safe in his hiding spot. The massive rig makes a sharp right turn on a dime, which is a pretty impressive skill for a ship this size, but not nearly as much as the effect it causes when traveling at a high speed, which the Truman was in this video. Witnessing the incredible power and stress put on the ship and what it can do should it be given orders to, is the difference between America's military power and North Korea's, which is merely a set-up props put in place to look tough but can do no damage. According to the accompanying caption, this extraordinarily rare vision of an aircraft carrier conducting this type of action was captured during sea trials to train sailors and to ensure the operational capability of systems and equipment, Tactical Clips reports. This isn't the only aircraft carrier of its kind at America's disposal. We have a total of 9 others that can do major damage to North Korea and their amateur munitions. They picked the wrong country to mess with and made it worse for themselves when they didn't back down to our real show of force that their fake one is no match for. Instead, Kim Jong-un is looking for a clean pair of pants after seeing what this bad boy is warming up to do to his silly little country. It's doubtful that Kim has any more tough talking to do about the Vinson and his plans to take this Goliath out. Tactical Clips continues with more damning details about this massive rig that North Korea can't touch. The Nimitz-class supercarriers are a category of 10 nuclear-powered aircraft carriers actively serving in the United States Navy. The lead ship of the fleet is named after the World War II U.S. Pacific Fleet commander, Admiral Chester Nimitz, the Navy's last fleet admiral. If only Kim's bark was as big as his bite, he might be taken seriously, but his mouth is writing checks that his backside can't cash. Not that he cares, but his ego and apparent mental illness is putting every life on his island in danger for what's coming their way if he doesn't back down. Every action he takes is a provocation of war, and he's only fortunate that America has restrained this long, but his luck is about to run out. Kim Jong-un can run and hide, but he'll have to resurface sometime, and when he does, it better be with him waving a white flag. White flag. Breaking, the new director of the FBI claims to arrest Hillary. Look who it is. One name reportedly being floated as a potential replacement is Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clarke. He joined the Fox Business Network's Mornings with Maria to discuss. This is the kind of political theater that goes on when something like this opens up, he said. My name has been mentioned. I try not to get into that, I'm focused on what I'm doing right now. While it's not clear who Trump will choose, he tweeted this morning, saying Comey will be replaced by someone who will do a far better job. In Sheriff Clarke's opinion, President Trump's view is what ultimately matters. Sheriff Clarke said, if Trump made me his FBI director, I would be arresting Hillary Clinton today. He and Attorney General Jeff Sessions will do what's in the best interest of the FBI in terms of leading that organization, that agency I should say, into the future, he said. The outspoken Trump supporter, who has taken a tough stance on crime, said while he has not yet heard from the White House, he would likely keep any talks private. Those kind of conversations are confidential, he said. But you know I stand by, and wear it as a badge of honor, my position on crime, my position on the rule of law and the protection of law-abiding citizens, which I've done for nearly 40 years. There were also reports that Clark was considering a run for the Senate opens a new window, however when asked, he said it's highly unlikely. What do you think about this comment below? Watch, White House reporter trashes Huckabee's daughter, regrets it seconds later. White House Deputy Press Secretary Sarah Sanders said that FBI Director James Comey's inability to control leaks out of the Bureau was one of many reasons why President Donald Trump decided to fire him. I think that's probably one of the many factors, Sanders said in response to a question from Breitbart News during the White House press briefing. I mean, you can't deny somebody that wasn't a problem, and so I think that was just another one of many reasons that he no longer had the confidence of the president or the rest of the FBI. Trump has repeatedly called attention to FBI leaks to the media about the investigation into his campaign for any collusion with Russia in an attempt to influence the 2016 presidential election. Sanders said that Director Comey had essentially taken a stick of dynamite to the Justice Department after commenting publicly on the FBI investigation into Hillary Clinton's email investigation. When asked if the president was prepared to fire more officials from the Justice Department, Sanders replied, "Not that I'm aware of today." Sanders described a gradual erosion of trust surrounding Comey since Trump was inaugurated, and that the president wanted to give him a chance despite the reservations he had about the director. She asserted that it was not true that Trump asked the Justice Department to put together a rationale for Comey's firing. I did speak directly to the president and heard directly from him that he, again, had been considering letting Director Comey go pretty much since the day he took office, but that there was no request by him to have a review at the Department of Justice, she said. She said she was surprised by Democrats rushing to defend Comey, despite their insistence that he directly contributed to Hillary Clinton's failure to win the presidency. If Hillary Clinton had won the election, which thank God she didn't, but if she had and she had been in the same position, she had have fired Comey immediately, and the very Democrats that are criticizing the president today would be dancing in the streets celebrating. What do you think about this comment below? Alert, just before he was fired, Comey told this secret to Trump. Despite former FBI Director James Comey's many shortcomings, like letting Hillary Clinton get off easy, he has once again proven that Trump is the right man for the job. The left hates admitting that. During James Comey's Wednesday hearing, he made a startling admission: 300 of 2,000 terrorist investigations involve refugees. Trump was right again. The liberals are putting their heads in the sand, again. They refuse to hear the truth about their benevolent refugee project. We cannot simply allow refugees, especially from war-torn Muslim countries, to come into our country. Thank goodness Hillary Clinton didn't win the election. Could you imagine? She would have opened the refugee floodgates. We would have more unvetted refugees than all of Syria itself. The left hates to admit that globalism is a failed project. With globalism, our borders are unsecured and American jobs are taken from locals. We need to protect our economy and our communities from the horrors of globalism. The Democrats embrace globalism because they think the immigrants, refugees, and illegals will vote Democrat. They never even stop to question whether this is a good idea. They just don't care, and the mainstream media spins this disaster into a victory. We need to oust these Democrats from office, and we need to replace them with true conservatives, so that we can finally have some pro-America legislation. We own the government, but the rhinos are preventing Trump's policies, which are supported by we the people. Trump needs to drain that swamp. We cannot allow the rhinos to win. These so-called Republicans are not our friends. They only want to derail Trump's policies. Worse yet, We still have to deal with Obama's deep state holdovers. These holdovers are leaking classified information to undermine the president. Does our president have any friends besides us, patriots? Why are so many people committed to harming America? The left, the rhinos, the deep state holdovers, and every other horrific swamp dweller need to be ejected. They need to leave our great capital. The mainstream media is working overtime to protect them. Trump will continue to push back against the globalist swamp. The swamp creatures will soon be forced to leave with a combination of term limits and firings. Thank goodness we have such a level-headed president. We need more action, not less. In the meantime, we can all celebrate that Comey has been fired. Had it not been for Comey, we would have indicted Hillary Clinton, and we would have finally seen some much-deserved justice. At least Trump has the courage to do what needs to be done. What do you think about Comey's admission? Share this article on Facebook and let us know what you think because we want to hear your voice. Happy day. Right after Trump fired Comey, Galdi got the best news in his career. This week has been absolutely insane. First Donald Trump fired FBI Director James Comey out of nowhere, then Sean Spicer went missing from the press briefings. One person came out the clear winner though. Galdi. It's now getting reported that President Trump is hard at work trying to replace Comey. Well, guess who made that list? Galdi is on the short list to become the new director of the FBI. That's right, the bloodhound of the U.S. House of Representatives, has a pretty big door opening. Hell, even Democrat Bakari Sellers said Galdi is the best pick for the FBI. Sellers tweeted, "Dems are going to hate me for this. I don't care. The best replacement for Comey is Galdi. He's as honest as day is long. Of course, that's only if he wants it. Congressman Galdi may prefer to stay in the House and keep up the great work there. They do need him, after all. Either way, I'm sure Hillary Clinton won't be happy. Sounds like an even better pick to me. If you want to see Galdi leading the FBI, then share this to your friends and family and let the world know.